Now, Donald Trump has been known to throw people under the bus if it suits him, right? He has no party loyalty. He's not really Republican. He's not really a Democrat. He's essentially a member of his own party, and that would be the party of Trump, okay? Now, the Republicans, stupid as they are, thought that they were getting somebody just smart enough to sign whatever they give him, right? Now, in some respects, you'd be right. I mean, if you want to talk about him eliminating the Obama agenda, well, that's something that Republicans have wanted to do ever since Obama, right? However, in getting that person, they also got someone who was widely unpredictable and also incredibly narcissistic. Now, so he does what basically helps him and only him. And if that means dealing with the Democrats and throwing the Republicans under the bus, he'll do it. In fact, he already has done it. Okay? So now you can understand why that could be problematic for Trump, throwing people under the bus, especially now because of the Mueller investigation. Okay? Now, some of the people that he's thrown out of office were crazy people, like Steve Bannon and Sebastian Gorka. Okay? Now, other people he's thrown out happen to be Republican Party loyalists and part of the establishment. So now that he's shown that he has no loyalty to anyone but himself, there's a growing fear that these same people might be willing to sell him out if Mueller comes knocking. Now, that's specifically Sean Spicer and Reince Priebus. Now, there are some people in Washington that are like, oh, no, they would never, ever sell out the president. Are you kidding me? No, of course so. Of course not. But according to Politico, one person isn't so sure, and her name is Barbara Ress. Now, Barbara Ress, she's not some rando off the street, okay? She actually worked as a construction executive for the Trump Organization, and it actually worked directly under Donald Trump. So she kind of has an idea of who we're dealing with here. Now, she said that she didn't understand the loyalty oath staffers may have taken, and asked a question that we've essentially all been asking of people who were recently fired by Trump. Why should they be loyal? Why? Well, that's a super, super good question. Why should they be loyal? Especially after the way that they were treated. And she also says, quote, he treated them like crap. Yep, pretty much. And that's how Trump treats everyone that he does not need. Now, if you need something, Trump's like, oh, man, you're a tremendous, fantastic person. And also, if you're richer than him, then he also sucks up to you. But if you're neither of those things, he couldn't care less about you. And one example is making Reince Priebus come all the way up to his desk when he was chief of staff to come kill a fly for him. Hey, Reince, this bug is bothering me. Kill it. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's not the job of a chief of staff. It's super ridiculous. Not only that, but another great example of a giant fuck you to one of the staffers is when Donald Trump went to go meet the Pope. And he decided to leave Sean Spicer home. Now, why that matters is that one of Spicer's biggest dreams and goals in life is to get to meet the Pope. Now, if you know that, and you still leave the guy home, then you're a dick. And that's what Trump is. Now, look, there's another piece to this, right? Even if Spicer still loved Donald Trump, they still might not necessarily put their asses on the line for him, especially if the Mueller investigation uncovers something big. In fact, you have former special counsel Robert Ray. Now, this was one of the Whitewater investigators telling the magazine, quote, the lesson to be always learned is loyalty is one thing, but are you prepared to go to jail for it? The answer to that question should be no. That would be the obvious question. Now, again, they're referring to the Mueller investigation, right? If it is actually criminal, which we don't know, well, the question would then be for the staffers, do I bail on Trump or do I stick by him and I lie for him that could get me potentially jail time? Again, I would say no, right? Now, that's not to say that if Mueller does find something that it wouldn't protect their boss, but, I mean, and look, we have examples of that, by the way. Scooter Libby. Now, Scooter Libby was Vice President Dick Cheney's chief of staff, who was convicted of lying to a federal officer as part of the Valerie Plame scandal. So that's one example of somebody taking a bullet for their boss. Not literal, of course, but saying, oh, no, it's all me, and going to jail for their boss. But the question is, who would be loyal enough to Donald Trump to go to jail for him? I mean, we know who he is, how he is, right? We know that he can easily turn his back on someone in an instant. Look at Anthony Scaramucci. Gone immediately. As soon as John Kelly got in there, boom, gone. Stephen Bannon. He's super ready to turn his back. As soon as... And look, Tony Schwartz. That was his ghostwriter for Art of the Deal. He famously said that Donald pisses ice water. Essentially meaning that, look, if Trump has a use for you, great. But if he doesn't have a use for you, you're gone. He's going to fuck you over. So, look, maybe there are people that are loyal to him despite that. I don't know. And at the end of the day, when it comes to Priebus and Spicer, who are both establishment guys, and Trump's been pretty harsh on the establishment, well, we don't know if they are that kind of people. So we don't know if Spicer and Priebus would be loyal enough to go to prison. And that should worry Trump very, very much. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.